Yes, welcome to Keep the Ball on the Ground! Got Ally McCoist was today, boys. What's a player by you?
Much better for Andy, innit?
Much better looking.
Oh, aye, Andy's.
Much better.
Look at the teeth in that, mate.
Do you know Andy?
That flash.
Andy's a
I know him, mate. I don't know him that well, but
Aye.
bumped into it a few times.
It's good to have somebody with hair and look. Do you know what I mean? Looking the part, actually looks
What's
after it.
safety
That
say,
scruffy bastard.
Mark McGee, innit?
Just for a day.
You stole that! Mate, you are Mark McGee's double, man. You just look like him.
Fuck off, Mark
You
McGee. Okay, there, man.
Grosvenor Sport, you like Grosvenor, don't you?
I love
Is that
them,
who you
mate.
bet with?
Favourite, aye.
They're brilliant, aren't they? Get double the odds on your first sport bet after you sign up, winnings paid in cash also.
Sign up at gsport.com/open goal.
/open goal.
97.4 thousand
Is it still no move?
subscribers.
2.6 to go to.
2.6 to go.
Decent, eh?
It's taking a while though,
Have you,
innit?
have you subscribed?
Just done it the other day, mate.
Did you, mate?
Been
Good,
watching
man.
it for years.
You
too.
subscribed yet?
The other day.
Aye, but you don't
He
think
has them, mate. That's the type of guy he is.
I don't really, you don't
What's wrong with
realise.
you two?
It's not watching.
Do you?
No. Right, well, so have you watched it for years?
Aye, mate, love it.
Oh, what a guy.
What
Love
a
it.
hero.
What, so when you were doing south and that, you'd watch
I
it?
used to drive down when I was doing it at Wigan. Used to drive down every 2 or 3 days to training, just stick a podcast on the way down the motor.
To show yourself?
Me, Big Marcy. A few
David
times,
Marcy?
aye. Marcy used to, don't know how he done it, used to drive down every day to training.
Because he moved back up road, didn't he?
Literally 10 minutes for me, aye. So he'd pick me up in the morning, drive down, he'd be back and forth every day, man.
Where's that for?
Didn't Wigan, was it?
Aye, Wigan, aye.
What, drive it Wigan? No.
Every day.
Every day, mate, aye.
I used to think it was bad driving here on a Tuesday night. Fuck.
That was torture, but when
Wasn't it?
the pizzas at 11 o'clock. Oh, fuck.
What was that, Peterhead?
No, air when we
Oh, doing it here?
Oh my God.
Fuck.
That's how I don't, like you the other day when we did that road trip, Peterhead every Tuesday, Thursday.
I don't know how you do it.
I love it, mate.
I know you did,
I
but
love it.
I didn't love it that much, that's why I retired.
How was your weekend, Big Boy? That's what I want to know.
I had a good weekend, I was out all day Saturday.
What?
Oh,
Aye.
What, the Dundee boys?
No, I
With
just...
McGee out day before
it's
the
a bit
game?
early, innit? You're only on a joke, Big Man.
I was up the south side for when I
South side?
Aye.
Okay, hell.
boys?
Minnesota Fats pulled Sugar Hall.
Oh, wow.
John Higgins' hunt.
Is that where Higgins goes?
Were you stealing?
Aye. We had a pub crawl planned, 10 pubs on the south side. We had about 7 pints in Minnesota Fats. We didn't see much more pubs after that.
Is it straight up the road?
No, went Minnesota Fats.
Your hair's all standing on end.
Oh, I don't
He
know,
looks really
mate.
good today, though, didn't
He does,
he?
doesn't he?
Must have been loose
It's
for coming
good, no, good. Different,
day.
different.
Who was that with Bibsy?
No, my mate Devon Scott.
Oh, Devon Scott, they come to the shows.
Went to McMillan's for food.
Can't stand it,
Recommend
too.
that place.
Can't stand it.
But nah, it was good. Woke up yesterday a bit ahead, but
What, you got a bit
a bit ahead.
Who was getting you?
A bit ahead.
Who was it, Lennon?
No, Lennon was away. Lennon was away. Lennon was away in a hen do. She was away in a hen do.
Is that what she told you?
So she was 4 days.
By the way, you want to get back into football, I experienced this man's Boca first hand.
Funny as you say that. I
Thursday.
saw a picture of the up on Instagram and I saw
Thursday
a couple
nights.
of young boys that were recognisable.
Who was it? Oh, Frankie and
And I
Judd.
thought, there's Frankie and
Well, I'm
Judd.
going to say that it's I came down, but 2 days before, he's got a Scottish Cup tie to get Peterhead to the quarter final. 2 days later, in with all the kids, not even coming down to show. Because sometimes, I remember a couple of years ago, I asked a few boys to come down, and they stood off a wee bit, as if they were sitting. Get in. You know what I mean?
Get him amongst them, mate.
Get in. He was in about them helping the kids.
Big, what's her name?
Kenzie,
Oh,
amazing.
what a woman, what a girl.
Amazing.
Who's Kenzie?
Girl that plays, she's brilliant, man.
Is she good? Aye.
Just he's different, aye. Lots of socks off. But that's just what. But we want to give these kids back what we go as kids gave them.
Exactly,
innit?
Paul.
Fancy it?
Aye.
This Thursday, mate.
Thursday, mate, I'll be there.
That'll be brilliant.
Have you coached before?
Nah, never, mate.
Is that something
Could you
interesting?
help you teach her?
Learn half a
Would
minute.
you do coaching?
Aye, be interested in it, mate. Find out what happens first, but...
I come down Thursday, we'll show you a bit.
What would you
Thursday,
rate your session out of 10 then?
completely chaotic, wasn't it? From start to finish. No where they were going.
But do you
Just
know
go
what?
there, just done games. Just
Games.
going to games. Go.
Box 3 days.
Watch a coach.
One of the coaches that came was an embarrassment, he'll never be back.
What he was wearing was...
Coaches should never wear shorts, I don't think, do you?
I don't know. I wear
Shorts or football socks?
I wear shorts and white socks, but no fitness socks.
When you're coaching?
Aye,
Yeah.
aye, definitely.
You get your legs out there.
Aye.
Cool.
Calves, show the calves.
Have you ever been coaching and farted?
I swear to God, right. See when I did the 1-to-1 stuff in lockdown, right? I used to get kids that would come to me and the dad would bring them and I'd be like, right, okay, this must be decent. I said, so what team do you play for, son? I don't play for a team. I said, all right, okay. What age are you? 14. All right, okay. I swear to God, this kid I don't think I ever even saw football before.
Aye,
and I
somebody
had to
must-
spend an hour with him.
But that's what
Did you fart though? That's what we were asking.
Fucking, I just wanted to fucking...
you're good at that.
I wanted to
Fucking
go up the road.
you keep doing that, man. No, I didn't like see, but I remember that happened to me when I was coaching a wee kid in 10-year-old or something. I'm like, "Are you ready to go in first game?" Remember talking to that one?
Uh-huh.
He's like to me, "What did I do?" Do you know what I mean? How tough is that? What are you meant to do with that? You know what I mean?
It's hard, isn't it?
It's a hard hour, isn't it, sometimes? But you put your all into it, and if the kids go away that hour with a smile, that's job done, isn't it?
Who was your best youth team coach?
Youth team coach.
Like, not just youth team, but any age coming through.
Alan Kernigan.
Alan Kent, that was it. He played the Falkirk, didn't it?
Aye. He was good. He had 17, 19, I think. He was good. I had that many when I was younger, but
Did you ever get Drew Todd?
I don't think so.
No.
Don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to go into this, but as when the guests come on, I always message the night before people know them, just to see their character in case they're going to come for me. I'm petrified. So I messaged last night, but Big Kev was saying one of the best youth players he's ever seen.
Yeah.
Didn't you, Big Man?
Aye, I would have said
What did he hate about him, Kev? What did you like?
just ahead of his years.
Well, like one step ahead of everybody else.
Just
Seen
knew.
a pass quicker.
I remember there was him, Barry Mackay, Robbie Crawford, was Higgs and Andy Mitchell a wee bit older, they were roughly similar.
They're about 2 year old, aren't they?
Aye, so there was a group of them, but he technically pinging it, zinging it. It was like I don't know, I say a young Barry Ferguson, but in the middle of the park he could dictate. But then my biggest surprise was he didn't go on and have the Rangers career that he should have had.
Injuries, innit?
That's one of the worst shouts in history. You hear that about yourself, innit? Somebody says that to
No,
you.
it's not. No, but it's not.
saying, mate.
It's not down to
No,
it's
that's
not
better
down
than
to
that.
ability. It's down to obviously the
Ah,
injuries.
no,
that-
exactly.
The thing about him, but no, I used to think he was. I thought he was very good.
How was Kev for you?
Good, mate. Aye, he's good. Good with other boys. Had a good.
No convincing
It
that.
was.
No,
No,
we did.
it was. It was a weird time, wasn't it?
Strange.
Because like we
you
had
were
a lot
fat all
of
the
young
time.
guys, and then you had a couple of older guys like Jig and Big Waldo and. Who else was there? Some of the foreign guys that were there, like Bocanegger and that, were still there.
Oh, was he, huh?
Aye, they
At
were
the
there at
start.
the
Hey,
beginning.
man.
Aye, and would have got a big centre half.
Ellen Perdue.
Goran Goyan.
Aye.
Oh,
So they
Goyan,
guys,
aye.
and then they all disappeared, and then you were left with like Carl, Hutz, Cooley.
With the muck.
Fucking hell, man.
First
Just
day.
playing darts all day.
Left for the muck.
Played darts with it. The first day, I remember, we get moved up to the first team changing room. So obviously shiting yourself to start with. So I've walked in, me and wee Baz were sitting beside each other. Jimmy Bell's walked in. He's like, fuck's sake, man, we used to have the ball and Knowles. Now we've got MacLeod and Mackay. It's like, that's a confidence booster you need, innit, when you're walking into the first team's dressing room.
Yeah. So what was the best stories, Cal? Was it Jig when he started the
brilliant.
captain?
Captain
Can't remember that
first
story, but we need to get him to tell what he called. Do you remember that now? What was that?
genius.
Was it Andy that told her? Or was it
That
Cal
was
that told
Cal
her?
told him something about the captain and he nutmegged him, wasn't it? No, that was Broadfoot.
Broadfoot that he says, I've done it to better
But what was
players.
the captain,
I
man?
can't remember the captain's, but it's
Need to get me
genius.
to tell that.
Cal's one of the funniest boys.
Was he like that when you were younger?
Aye, just no changed one bit, even at Wigan, man.
Any good?
Exact same.
Anything funny? Any stories?
There's no even stories like that. See, just the way he is, like, all the time, just does it every day.
He's
I
one
say,
like
I'm the best.
But
But
I always saying, he'll back this up, that as ballsy as he was, see when it didn't go his way, or he get caught doing something he shouldn't have done, he was fucking petrified every time. Think the gaffer's going to
Well,
pull
that even
him,
melts,
and
yeah.
he absolutely shite himself.
Oh, we need to remember Ally McCoist when it's genius, mate.
Do you know, though, I think the two funniest is him and Charlie. See if you were to tip one ahead, do you think you could?
Charlie's a great storyteller.
He's the best
did you
storyteller
see
ever.
his,
Cal's probably a bit sharp.
His interview last
did you see his
Was that interview?
Interview.
Charles,
Bit one.
You made that up.
Mate, have you seen his haircut? It's like a cut and dry. I
don't like it.
A blow dry or something, he's done it.
I don't like it.
It's a pure bounce to it, man. It's like a
You're a
ball.
woman, innit?
How many times in a game does he do this?
Oh, it's constant, that.
Mate, I get...
That hair's
Well,
terrible.
look at that. How would you describe that?
gambles, man.
So I got 3 messages saying, Si told me to message you about the coaching. That boy was doing it fucking SWG every morning. That boy Connor. Should tell him.
I've been telling everyone message Lennon about coaching.
Everybody's
Oh, that's it.
do you know who messaged me out of the blue? It was about 2 years left at Brentford. Bilal Mojni.
No.
Did he?
Messaged me out of the blue. He was like, Lewis,
you want to fight?
can you speak to your manager, see if I can get a game for you?
Oh, brass neck, man.
I'd not spoke to him for fucking 4 years.
Did you speak to the manager?
Nah.
Love that, Rufus. Right, what's happening with you? You're injured just now? Plymouth, your last club?
I was at Plymouth. I just signed for a year, signed a year contract. Just wanted to play, to be honest. about a month into the season, get a tackle injured inside of my knee, and then had scans and everything else, nothing was really showing up, so tried to play the rest of the season. Same thing, just still constant pain. Got to the end of the season and realised I needed surgery, so just thought I had a lot of injuries in my career, so I thought I'd just take a wee bit of time away. Just had a wee boy as well, so moved back up the road. And
what age is he? What's his name?
9 months, Albie.
Oh, lovely.
Decent.
This is the worst, is it?
Your missus a cracker as well. You can tell, can't you? She's a cracker, man.
No foul for him, I don't know. Beautiful little boy. But see, that's the worst as a player, mate. Injuries. And once it's mere, Kev, we like... See, I felt, see, when you get one side, maybe, and then you come back and you get another one, I start to feel that people start to think...
It's in his head. That's the worst shit ever.
Isn't it?
Is it in your head?
And it's hard, like he's decided now, like nothing really showed up in the scan. How do you show somebody you're suffering with pain inside? It's difficult.
The scans kill you because when a scan doesn't show it up, you actually want a scan to show something. You know what I mean? So you can sort it.
But
That's what I was wondering, why so many injuries that didn't get fixed at top clubs. You've got specialist surgeons. It's crazy, isn't it? You think that'd be easy enough just to open up and fix it, but
Should be. Well, they did. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the season, I went and actually had the surgery.
Right.
So I had surgery on my knee, and they found out then. They knew exactly where it was. They knew that I'd tore the deep fibres. But obviously, moved back up the road. I've been doing rehab with Steve Walker.
oh aye.
Stevie. So Stevie's been looking after us. I've been doing stuff with him, but still got pain. So I'm back and forth to London, just seeing a specialist and stuff. So see how it goes, but I have a couple of more months and then try and get back. If no, then
But then after that, you're looking for a club?
aye. Once I get back fit, I'll be looking for
But
a club.
SPL easy, isn't it?
Without a doubt.
What age are you
Cruise
now?
it.
27.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
27.
Bet you're still ahead
Get
of
you
you.
in Hearts.
Centre mid.
You need to do it centre mid.
Aye.
Because the centre mids I've got is fucking hopeless. Right, the games at the weekend. Rangers went to Dundee United. Lewis will ask you first since he's the
Aye.
guest.
Didn't seem happy this morning, didn't you know
You're
that?
angry man this morning, weren't you?
Oh, angry, mate. Just one of the games, wasn't it? Like after Heisey Thursday night and then going to that game, just
It's a hard place to go to, isn't it, when you look at Dundee United's, especially in the defensive right, I
hard
think
place to go, but just too much side to side, like no fucking penetration. It's like on a Saturday night, you know what I mean, mate?
Like it. Like
Going
it.
off, playing through the line, stuff like that. Just, I think one of the stats at the end of the game was something like 61 touches or something in Dundee United's box and one goal.
Mate, the box was wild, wasn't it? Every time they bought in the box, mate, I just thought everybody was running into each other, man. I was like, what is going on in that box?
It got a wee bit kamikaze, yeah. What about that time when the keeper saved it and the defenders tried to put it, he's trying
He did it off the post,
Off the
didn't he?
post.
Like, what is going on here?
It was wild.
But Dundee United have
4 or 5
defended
times.
tremendously, but I would be more, give them credit, but I would be more disappointed, obviously being the Rangers manager, the amount of opportunity. I think they could have created better opportunities. I think when they brought on
Sakala was good.
Sakala,
Sakala
and the
was
width,
really
see
good,
when they got the width and they started putting balls across the face of goal, I think that's when they started to. But again, look at Rangers' goal. The two Dundee United boys, I think it was Hearts and the other one. How can you not see Bassey doing the overlap? Why does one no go with Bassey? And then it's a cut back, and then the boy that's obviously matching the run Aribo. I know Aribo's strong as a bear, but great finish. He was our best player, Aribo.
Bobby Madden wanted, he kept trying to get asses in the box, didn't he?
Kept screaming at
So wanted as many asses in the box as possible.
No enough. No enough.
Bobby's had a shot.
I bet, mate, you see me fair to Bobby, though, mate. Imagine refereeing that game.
Was
What are you
that?
meant to see, mate, eh?
Gave me a set hit the
I
game,
don't know
man.
how somebody never gets sent off, man.
Aye.
I've 4
Big challenge.
Because
Fucking
the 2 or 3 of the Dundee United centre halves, they get sent off early doors in the first half with pulling guys back. I mean, I thought definitely going to be a red card in here, but
So what you saying, Sakala's a penalty, innit?
aye,
I still know.
100%. The handball one,
I don't think it's a handball.
no, you
He's trying to take his hand away,
he's
isn't he?
trying to get his hand away, but definitely. But how many weeks do we talk about it? Scottish football needs to find money and invest in VAR, and that way.
They must have money there somewhere.
See, with Rangers as well, I was going to ask you, should you have went 2 up? See, instead of keeping that 4-2-3-1, when you're chasing a goal, should you just go and change it maybe your...
Because Dundee didn't really come right with it.
Nah.
No.
I was surprised they never went and put 2 up front.
Good
Who would
point.
you, like Roof was on the bench,
Roof,
so he never come on.
Yeah.
And you're thinking you're needing a goal, you're not just going to throw caution to the wind and get everybody on, but I don't know, because Dundee United basically didn't. When Dundee United had the ball and kept possession, they kept the ball quite well, to be fair to them.
Levitt's a lovely football player, isn't he? Levitt. The one he goes to kid on, he's playing centre back and he
Aye.
Yeah.
out to the
Lovely.
wide player.
I thought Tony Watt was good in terms of when it came up to him, he held it up and tried to no waste time, but keep the ball further up the park, try and get his team up the pitch. But and Seager's, I think Seager's the goal. I think he's probably one of the better goalkeepers we've got in the league. He'd probably get himself.
But no enough shots on target. I seen a stat, it was 25 shots they had, but 3 on target.
29, I think it was 29.
And 3 on target.
3 on target. That's not good enough.
Penetration, as you said. Do you know what I mean?
Not good enough.
So what could you have taken a Jack or a Lundstrom off and put him in a
Lundstrom,
aye.
I'd have probably took Lundstrom off because Jack still dictates the play.
Jack's good, isn't he?
Aye,
Playing well,
Jack's-
Jack.
Very good.
It's just his awareness on the park, like, where everybody is, where he is. If somebody's chasing him down, he can kind of drop the shoulder, go one way, and he always looks to give himself space to make the pass. But Diallo, for me, him coming on, he did all right coming on, but
That body language.
His body language is poor.
He's got to square. See the one when he's running through, he has a shot. He's got to square.
well, there's that one. But you're needing more at him. Why is Aaron Ramsey not playing? What's wrong with him?
I mean, that was strange, isn't it?
I think has he picked up an injury or something? A week or so? I don't know.
They could go down as possibly the 2 worst low signings ever. We're only fucking 3 weeks in. Ramsey and Diallo. We're going to need to pick
Diallo's
up.
body language just frustrates me.
Does it, right?
The one where didn't fit you hit me with that, man. You see the one where the one he's not offside.
No.
And he just keys up. And then the one there's a 50-50 shit. He starts to say to you, I shit myself every 50-50.
Did you genuinely shit yourself with a 50-50?
I just leave his studs in after he's hit the ball. Just that we actually fuck him in, but with that, but then
What were you scared of? He was going to hurt?
aye.
It doesn't hurt, did you?
I don't know. I was a traditional winger, you know what I mean? Talking about side, want the ball to feet, take players on. I don't want to go in there on 50-50, do you know what I mean? Get somebody else.
Get somebody else to do it.
Grade to do that, you know what I mean? But anyway, sorry to cut you out. There's a wee fucking fat mushroom down south. I'm going to knock his fucking block off. Jamie O'Hara.
What's he done?
Wee fat mushroom.
I don't want to say, because
Got personal,
what I don't want to happen is, and
He found Scuddies on his man's phone. Jamie O'Hara.
and he sent me one of them. And I said, send it to other people know me, what I say, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? But you see with Jamie O'Hara, there's a lot of these Z-list of celebrity fights, right? I'm not interested in that. I hate that road, I hate that life, I hate that world. But with me and him, the mushroom, I want this real, I want a serious fight with him.
At Hydro.
If it's a Hydro, no, I don't get, if it's a car park, I'll be a knuckle fight with him. What if he wants, no messing about anymore. That could be the most hated fight in Scotland. I was thinking he's the most hated guy in Scotland, but I'm up there with him now.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Most who hated Scottish guys?
People just want you to punch fuck at each other.
Good
Be like
luck,
Cannon, what about Cannon Brooks press conference, man?
Oh, fuck, I know.
Unbelievable.
How have they got away with that?
2 morons. I thought they were going to end up getting off each other instead of fighting each other.
It's
I'd like to see you fight Pat Nevin. He's high heels on, break his ankle, isn't
I think he'd take me. Do you? Wee Pat.
So Jamie O'Hara, that's your calling him out?
I've called him out. Listen, no bullshit, no nothing.
how's the relationship turned sour?
Told you.
The thing is, he's got a fight though, right? This is what. And
Well, he's got a fight.
he's got a fight in one of these stupid things, right? And there's genuinely, this is no lies. He's come out and then said something about forget that fight. I want Selena to fight me, being serious. I was like, don't call me after the week I had last week. Do you know what I mean? Like, tore to shreds. I'm trying to chill out.
Who got taught to shreds?
Me.
For who?
The media. Social media, remember?
For, all right, for the Scottish
So I'm
Cup.
saying I got an island, so I'm trying
Right.
to keep myself low last week. And then he's coming out, opening his mouth, so. We'll sort
He
it
has a
out.
little slug in it.
Craig Beat will train you up at the gym.
I like Beats as a trainer.
By the way, he can hit a bag beats.
Aye,
man.
he's punch, he can punch, aye.
Fuck. What about Rangers? What a result away to Dortmund, 4-2. I never seen it with training, so
Were you watching it?
he's a
I
runding.
watched it, mate, aye.
Do you want a bit?
I think you look at the result and you always think, how's that happened? But they deserved to
Aye,
win the game, do you know what I mean?
I would hate to say Dortmund were poor,
Aye.
because Rangers were good.
They were good.
But they were so open, Dortmund. Every time Rangers went like on the attack, you looked like they could score.
Aye, I think they were clinical as well, so even they got their chances, they took them.
But Dortmund looked like a team that's struggling a wee bit
They
in
just won
terms of...
6-0 yesterday.
I know, but in terms
Mad,
of like...
Do you know who I hate? Who's the most overrated player in world football? I've never seen him in a good game. Witzel that plays with Belgium. What the fuck, man?
Love to see it.
He's had a top career, mate. What does he do?
The
Thanks, mate.
Rangers were clinical. Great finish by Lundstrom.
Aye,
What a
great finish.
by the way. Right, to be fair, a lot of praises to go to Ryan
Kent.
Kent, because he was Ryan Kent was superb.
Was he?
Running at defenders, man. I think one of them actually went off injured. His fucking legs were tied in a knot. He had to go off and untie them. He never came back on. He was very, very good. And then, did you see the goal, Morelos, when it got back to Morelos and he shot and the defenders tried to like backheel it off the line and missed it and it's in the corner?
Aye.
I'd be fucking fuming if I was the manager of Dortmund thinking, why not just like, but no, Rangers deserved.
Look at
Disappointed that they got second goal Dortmund,
I think
because I
that's a
think
big-
4-1 Rangers see that tie out. I
You think
think
they'll see it?
I hope.
Alan's back.
I think they need to.
Is he?
They need to
The
score.
monster's
Don't
back.
they? Rangers need to score.
I think it'll be tough at Ibrox, but if somebody said to you the first tie, you're going to come back to Ibrox with a 2-goal lead.
Some result.
One of the
man. I
best.
can't believe it came
I think it is certainly since I've been born one of the best results in it.
through. In Europe.
Europe
One of the best away performances
away
in
to
European
Dortmund.
for Scottish football. Between all the things that like Celtic's done some great things, and obviously they won the European Cup many years ago, but in recent times that's up there with one of the best away performances.
What was it? Celtic beat Liverpool 2-0. That was a
good one.
Anfield,
Celtic
Big
obviously
John
beat.
scored, didn't
your team beat
he? You going to put what team?
beat Barcelona 2-1 at Nou Camp.
Whose team?
Dundee.
What?
Dundee beat Barcelona.
Dundee United.
Dundee
Dundee
United.
United.
Jimmy Mack, King Jim McAnally played in it.
Did
Was that 84 semi-final they got beat? Semi-final?
Semi-final, I think. They beat Barcelona to get it in.
Dundee United won.
Billy Kirkwood, that's right, Billy Kirkwood. Was he your coach?
Yeah, he's my
Good
coach.
guy,
Yeah,
isn't he?
good.
That's
They
crazy,
beat
innit?
Barcelona, I know.
Who was playing with Barca then?
Romario.
Don't know,
Nah,
mate. Figo?
Fuck,
What a result,
Terry
that.
Venables was playing.
No, but that certainly was one up there with one of the best.
By the way, what a team Bodo Gump are as well.
Aye.
Mate,
Never seen it.
honestly, they beat Roma 6. I never knew that.
I know,
Roma
but somebody
6-0.
told me that they didn't barely win another game in the group.
Oh, really?
They drew every other game.
I was so impressed with them at Celtic Park.
They did look really good, but the thing is, I think it's I give Ange in this side team a lot of credit, but on the same hand, when there's a result like that or a performance, then you do need to be fair and say, because that team's not played a competitive game for 12th of December. I think Celtic go if they look fit on Celtic at times,
Yeah.
and I can't work that out.
I thought they were better off the ball than Celtic.
Celtic were quite open. I think it was a
Aye.
the first goal.
Yeah.
The number 10's picked the ball. There's no Celtic player within
I think
15 metres.
any time you've watched Celtic this season, see when a team's managed to string a few passes together, you can cut Celtic open. They saw yesterday against Dundee, vulnerable a couple of set plays, what have you, they look a wee bit, so that's maybe something to try and maybe what to show up a bit.
They have been
I got a few
brilliant.
messages slotting us for the Roger King a couple of weeks ago, but I thought Thursday showed it. Off the
him
ball at
and
that
O'Reilly.
level.
Yep.
Him and
And
O'Reilly.
a midfield 3, if you play a 10, I think it's what you get away with, but if he's playing a midfield 3,
But is
you need
that-
to be able to run.
Is that a wee bit of maybe no? I don't think they would not take them serious, but playing him and O'Reilly in together,
Don't think that'll happen again, do you?
no chance. Don't think you can do that.
Who you playing?
Attack.
Like you, so obviously you said it on the show side that you would, if you're putting a 3 in there, you'd have O'Reilly over Rogic. You can see why.
Yeah.
It's the work rate off the ball, isn't it? It's the and O'Reilly. Like I didn't actually realise he's only 21.
Yeah, he's only 21-year-old,
Big
isn't he?
future. I see that he's maybe getting going to hold up
Handsome
for
boy.
Denmark.
Is he? No way.
All right.
Oh, that'd be unbelievable.
Because, I think he's. I don't know.
Do you like Danish bacon?
Oh, I love Danish. I had 2 bacon rolls this morning.
Did you think?
Aye, one with haggis in it. Fucking
Haggis in
ketchup.
it?
Haggis and bacon with ketchup.
That's basically your calories for the full day.
Don't give a shit, mate. I'm here to live life to the full.
Is it married people now?
You got some,
That's probably ketchup.
I think it is ketchup.
Is it? Aye. Fucking said to the boy, put that on. But see when they put,
Where'd you go for it?
don't know, bit near you.
What's it called?
In near Ryan Kent Street. What do you call that?
Pat Circus.
Kent Road.
Kent Road.
You know where if you put, when you put your street turn right straight across and there's a wee row of shops near the school. There's a wee shop in the corner, it's the sandwich bar or something I think it's called.
No way.
Fucking decent by the way. Cup of tea was tremendous.
2 rolled.
That's what I
Why
should
was
do.
one not enough?
I just thought it too. I just thought just in case, because if I didn't want to set one, I could always
After
chuck it.
7 pints, after 20 pints at the weekend.
I must have had about 15 pints easy. 15
You don't get
vodkas.
drunk, Matt?
No.
Talking of food, what was it your dad done with that Greek yogurt after Gio Kamakis scored?
I don't know why he was doing that. Tell me to stop, Matt.
What was it, he poured the oil on him?
Pull it out of my mad jack one.
What did the Slanes say last night? Was it a
We all went and
Greek-
seen 4s, 5s, that's all my dad. And he
Oh,
was,
you checked as the popcorn.
aye, my dad was steaming, but the 4s.
What, in the pictures?
No, he didn't go. He was meant to go. He was meant to have a family day out again, but we've not had it in years, so we didn't. He didn't turn out. He blittered. We went and seen Jackass. What a film, seen it?
What were your mother?
In fact, me, my mum, my sister, 4s all
Did
went.
she like it?
She loved it. She was pissing herself laughing the whole film.
Superb.
I mean, I would love to like the day Jackass was. That'd be amazing.
Right, we used to do that, me and my pals used to do that.
Did you?
When we were younger, I was like hiding hockey bags on the side of the road and the Dale and I was shut like
Yeah, it's
that.
brilliant. I couldn't believe how much many boss and cocks were in it. It was crazy, but I thought, like, see when we
I thought it
talk,
was him filming in the back of his taxi.
see when we sometimes say stuff like that, like the odd joke that you go, hey, why did I say that? Whatever, like, mate, they're massive and they're just showing fully it. You know? But I'd love to do Jackass.
Aye.
Gio Kamakis. Gio
I like that, I
Kamakis.
like that.
We could put you in a shopping trolley and send you down the hill to Hydro or something.
How about we fight that? Probably.
But he done it with the elf getting hit with the motor, innit? One of the worst acting performances I've ever seen.
Why did I do that?
Did you come to the Hydro shows?
Did mate?
Did you?
Did you?
No,
Oh, what a hero,
first
man.
one, second one, sorry.
Did you like
I was
it?
down south, brilliant mate. I loved
Oh, what a guy, man.
You'll be on the next one. There you
You
go.
want to come on the next one? Do a couple of wee drills and then dribbling out phones?
it. Knee singing that.
Me singing that. Did you like Satsunas?
Brilliant mate, aye. Full show was good.
What a guy. You should have told us, mate. You could have came backstage and that.
Hey, there's so many fitter players been to the Hydro we don't know about.
Aye, good. I like that.
He's kept it quiet. I like that. Here, what about the Dundee game? You just were unlucky, Mark.
Dundee played alright by the way, didn't they?
Your team.
Well,
them up well,
I just set them up well, set them up
Speaks
hard.
outside his mouth, so try it.
Aye.
Just speak outside your mouth.
On a serious note, how's Mark May got this job? On a serious note,
I don't know,
of all the people that's candidates to get that Dundee job, even Charlie McGrath, no Charlie McGrath, Charlie Adam. Charlie Adam was seen with tears flowing down his face, raging. Managed to get Jazz on a sack and then he still not got the job.
It's a bizarre one, isn't it?
But I'm not trying to say it's an old pals act, but I was doing the maths all day and Gordon Strachan, the hell's the director of football, Mark McGee. It's a bit like years ago when Gordon Strachan was a Celtic manager, he went and bought fucking Adam Virgo for 1.5 million quid for Brighton.
That was off Mark McGee as well, wasn't it?
Of course it was. They too, you get history of pals act. But a man's coming in, he's got a 6-game ban.
That's crazy.
Strange, innit? It's
What is there,
strange.
13 games left this season?
But the other strange thing is that Mark McGee was the assistant manager to the guy who's now his assistant manager at Stockport.
That's bizarre.
So the boy Simon Rusk was the manager, Mark McGee was the assistant. Now he's taking the Dundee job. Simon Rusk is now his assistant manager.
That's mental, mate.
I once met Mark McGee. Well, I was nearly
You know, just like in the mirror?
I got to Simon Aberdeen. He was brand new, to be fair.
Was he?
Aye, I met him in some guy's garden.
He's definitely had like a gammon street together or something, didn't he?
Aye,
They had a three
Toad in the hole. Fuck it.
That's 100% what Mark McGee's eats
Aye.
every night for his dinner. Toad in the hole.
Big fat Yorkshire pudding with a dinner inside the Yorkshire.
So why did you not sign for him?
Because it just was, just the money, the travelling to Aberdeen. Fuck, it's a guy Peterhead, isn't it?
No, it's not as far, but I know what you mean. So we keep them up, boys, what do you think?
No.
Nah.
Why would Strachan not just take the job?
That's crazy, isn't it? I don't see. You're still playing it. Do you think these type of guys have been out? Has he been out the game for a while, Mark McGee?
Yeah.
As a manager? Do you think that works now?
I think if you've got a good coach next to you, mate, it could definitely work.
I don't think it's an age thing. I think he'll come with like a huge experience. And it's, I say it 100 million times again, but sometimes it's how you are with the players.
Yeah.
Like, Peterhead boys fucking love Simon. That's
No,
why
they
they get a
don't.
good group. I just think
I don't think, but it's not. See, Kevin, I think sometimes you don't need them to actually love you.
No, you're not there to be
No, you
loved.
don't.
Aye, that's
You
it.
just need them to respect you and firstly get them to play for you.
That's it.
Why you know what you're trying to do.
That's exactly what it is. But
And-
Dingus, I'm not sure on.
Dingus is brilliant there as well.
What is his style of play like? Mark McGee? Like?
Take the leather off the ball, innit?
Get out of
On the
Try and
evidence-
bust it. Just try
on
and
the
bust
evidence
it.
of yesterday, they nearly came away with like an unbelievable point.
How did they only seen the highlights, obviously?
I didn't really watch too much.
But
I
to be
only seen
fair,
the
mate, he
highlights.
made a couple of big calls. I think he never played Niall McGinn or Charlie Adam. I think he went with legs in the
Rodden
middle of
didn't
stats. Rodden never started either.
Nah, put me McMullen, and he's good at up front, isn't he, Mullen?
Danny Mullins really good.
He's a
honestly.
workaholic,
I
that
love
boy.
him.
He's a workaholic.
Really, really good. But nah, I'm not sure. I had him Mullen, Mark McGee.
Did you? What was that? So gives you
Mate,
the
his
insight.
football was good.
Mate, did Colin Meldrum not accuse you of Willie watching?
Willie Watcher. That's a Willie Watcher coming.
That's the worst when you got called a Willie watching.
I was a coach's. I was used to clean the coach's boots. That was my job. Like you always get obviously your jobs. When I went in one day and Mark McGee was in the shower, but I went in, but his boots were near the shower, so I've tried to peek just to grab the boots. Colin Meldrum just walked in, and went, "You trying to look at his Willie?"
That was a hero, mate. Colin Meldrum.
Willie Watcher. That's what he still said. But no, he played brilliant football at
Oh, did he, right?
put 4-3-3
I mean,
in
that's playing.
But I don't think it was many players because Ross McCormack was for the left. Do you remember Chris Porter?
Chris Porter, but he was Colchester, isn't it?
He was up front.
Striker.
His
His arses were tied together, weren't they, Chris Porter?
I couldn't move. And Big Bob
He
Malcolm.
was basically Craigan up front, wasn't he?
Aye.
Chris Porter,
What about that woman that scored 3 own goals?
Never seen it.
Did you see that?
When?
What made you think of that when I said Stephen Craig?
Craigan got the own goals he scores. Anyway, Porter up front and had Big Bob Malcolm in there who dictated play. But he did play really good football, but he's no... He's see, since that Mallow team got him into Europe, he's not done much, has he?
What was it like with you?
Mate, he didn't really speak to me, but he always used to say to me, go and put Ray Ducks in my bath. all the time, had to fill up baths for him and Scott Leach.
Did you?
That's
I was with Leach yesterday, a few pints. I'm just asking for you.
Was he?
Just asking for
He
you.
was so scary. Wasn't he?
He's a scary. Even now he's scary,
I
mate.
feel in your eyes he's cane me or something.
No, I never can do that.
Did I not?
No.
Oh, he's a scary bastard.
Is he, aye?
He speaks well. Yeah.
Does he? Aye.
He does. He likes you, mate.
But Big Mac, he was good when I was there, listen, but I don't know if his time's...
What was he like in the bath? Did he fill that bath up?
Bubbles all the time.
It'll no matter what his style of play is. See if he keeps Dundee up, that's the objective. He doesn't think he's on a height nothing anyway, because Dundee will be favourites to go down.
Did you ever go in the bath with him?
Can't he? Scott Leach didn't let us, man. I know. No, I never went in the bathroom. His questions are fucking unbelievable.
Whose boots did you clean when you were younger? He said he done.
I don't think we ever cleaned. I think we had to clean the coaches' boots.
That's why he's got that attitude. He's never cleaned boots. Bad attitude.
Nah, my job was clean the bath suit. That's what it was.
After somebody
Aye,
done
we were
pubes in it?
different.
Many pubes, colours of pubes.
Colours of pubes, mate.
Coisty and Kent, I loved the bath.
Aye.
They too loved the bath.
Was it one of the pubes? Oh, cleaning the baths is the what? John Robertson used to love a bath as well. You need to sit and wait on him finishing. Sitting there for hours, mate.
What was some of the worst jobs you got, game? The jobs are the best thing, though, wasn't it? About a youth player?
I hate doing the boots, mate. See when you went in there was a fucking 200 pair of boots, man, you're like that.
Aye, but did you not get used to
But
it?
did you not hear an
No, it's a European away trip, mate, so
Oh,
the train
the
over
hamper.
there and then the hamper would come back, mate, and it'd be two hampers full of boots. Some days you in the train because you had to clean the boots.
Aye.
The worst thing
That
was
was
when
the
you
worst
cleaned
day
somebody's
European
boots and they were like bogging, and then you maybe put a wee bit of water in, and when you took him to the first team, put him under his chair, and he said, "Fucking, that's big Kev. What are you wanting? Fucking boots or something?" Right.
That is the worst.
It's like, well, what do I mean? How was I supposed to dry and you couldn't even question them?
Lambo,
Get them fucking dry then.
Lambo, you weren't allowed to polish, you weren't allowed to touch his white night tick, so you had to polish, he tried to polish round it, mate.
Oh, come on.
Told you midgets one, innit? Lennon used to take about 18 pair of boots to away games. Don't know why, mate. I had fucking, honestly, I'm not exaggerating, maybe 8 pair of boots Lennon would take. And Midge was like, it's one of my first weeks in, and I looked at Midge was like, I'm fucking sick of cleaning this boots. 8 pair of boots, man. Is he kidding us on? So you got that tick, he just popped his head at Lenny was sitting there. Lenny, what boots you want for the weekend? And Lenny went like to him, Lenny, who are you calling Lenny? And Midge went, fucking you! But Lenny was like, I fucking love that wee man.
Did he, aye?
I loved it.
No,
honestly,
that
mate,
was
8 pair of boots, man.
Who did you clean?
Oh fuck! I had the.
Was it boots you cleaned, though?
Aye, fucking had the. I had Gavin McCann. He came from Everton. He was a good player actually. I had the goalkeeping coach, which is shite because he never fucking tipped.
Did he know
He was
that?
crap.
We never got tips at Celtic either.
The only
The
two
dog with the
Peter
kit,
White,
man.
the only two Peter White was Niall Quinns or Kevin Phillips because they couldn't give you £100 every Christmas.
Even that's
Super
tight,
tight.
I think, kind of quid.
But fucking 20 years ago,
Suppose.
you run 42.50 a week, so and you get £100.
I suppose. What about anybody gave you his money?
Nah.
You never got money?
See, when I think it was like, my year was kind of the last year that you done jobs or anything like that. It started fizzling out. And
So Jimmy Bell done everything?
Aye, pretty much, aye.
In
You had
fact,
to clean your own boots, I think you had to clean your own boots, didn't
Aye,
you?
clean your own
You had
boots.
to clean your own bit. What, are you moaning about that?
No, there was
Alright.
no, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like...
Oh, the first team players had to clean their own boots?
Aye, like, we would clean our own boots.
did
and
they?
that, Aye.
Did you?
Aye, because in that room where all the boots were,
Aye.
there was all the equipment was there just to do it
clean it,
yourself.
Is that alright?
So it was never an issue. I didn't be moaned about it.
No.
Cleaning boots was a fucking pain in the ass, wasn't
The
it?
worst one was cleaning the fucking dressing room after training. There's fucking shite everywhere.
Bottles
man.
as well.
I hated that.
In fact, that's a lie. Sutty would give you money. TV, Sutty would send you to the bank. Take a seat because you'll need to sit down and see how much money I've got. But if he took a lot of money, he'd go, there's 50 quid, forget it.
No, but I did.
Lenny would maybe do that as well, Tomo, the big hitters.
Peter Reid used to get
Hartson
us,
as well.
Peter Reid used to come in and get us to wash his car. He'd park the fucking car up in his space
I
and
don't
he'd
like
say,
that,
right, you wash it.
Did you not say he was lying on the bonnet when you were washing it?
He was at Wigan when I was there.
Oh, was he? Aye.
Mate, he's pure went trendy now at Wigan, isn't he?
Used to, every Saturday, wear like a suit and a wee top hat.
Aye. He's a fucking
Trendy,
great guy,
aye.
man. He was
Good
the scariest
guy.
guy.
Is he a hero? Huh? Alright, what about James McPake?
I think you've got to remember, that's his first job out of football. So finished football, straight into Dundee job. I think he's done all right, to be fair.
Yeah.
So he'll learn from whatever's happened and he'll move on, and the next opportunity he'll get, you try and correct the wrongs you made.
Right the wrongs,
Right
good.
the wrongs, but hopefully he gets an opportunity because I'm sure he'll want to get back into football as quickly as he can. But for me, it was always going to be tough keeping Dundee up.
Yeah.
It's always like they don't have the budget, they don't have Same players and stuff.
Strange timing, Kevin.
It is strange timing, but when clubs get desperate, they make desperate decisions.
I'd have understood it. Look, I'd have understood it if it was maybe when they'd maybe went in that bad run, but they're beating Hearts at Tynecastle, then they go through in the cup to quarter final, like, doesn't it?
I know they beat Peterhead, but see, we've got to look into it in deep detail.
Do you think that performance has got a lot to do with it?
Aye, definitely.
Think so?
Aye, definitely, because
even though you win 3-0.
I know, but see if you watch the Hearts game, they weren't great in that game either. Hearts are going through a bit of a bad spell. They're not performing well at all now. Hence why Andy's been fucking papped after.
The Yo-Yos came back.
He's been papped
after. They've done it.
Papped out the Hearts first team.
Andy
papped out the
Jigs didn't need to cleanse his arse all day, man.
So for me, they didn't play well then, and then I think the performance against Peterhead, you're looking at it thinking, God, it isn't getting much better. Although they've won two, but
surely at that point the results are the most important.
Oh no, it is. It's the same.
Stage of the season.
You just don't know what goes through chairman's minds. Until we're in that position, you don't know.
Right, good wins in Aberdeen, good appointment.
Aye.
I like him, and I said to you a couple of weeks, he's a proper manager, but what I can't understand is McInnes gets sacked. The chairman came out very, 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 very vocally, opened his mouth.
Very critical.
Very critical, and he said, Aberdeen is now going away. We want a possession-based team. We want almost the youth to play the exact same way, all the way up. But now you're going to a guy who doesn't play possession at all. He's no play possession in the past. Now I'm not saying, I know sometimes good managers will play a style or play the way their players have got. Goodness me, I feel goodness, the balls were starting to rumble again in the mouth. But then I've lost the chain of thought because the balls in the mouth. But yeah,
your tongue went off, was it?
Aye, but the point is, what I'm saying is, why do that? I've not even got the point. I've not got it. I've lost the complete point.
So what you're saying, go and get a manager who plays possession-based football?
Aye, because then what you say that Derek McInnes is a lot of shite. Because you've stuck with what you've said for about 6 months and then...
But
could we make one and play football?
Could he not play football at St Mirren due to the personnel he had? Does maybe Aberdeen got better personnel and maybe got the players that could match?
Well, that might be...
Because obviously sometimes you've got to adapt I don't know this because I've never been a manager, but you've got to adapt to what you have in front of you.
Do you though? Look at Andrew when he first came into Celtic.
Tony Ralston's playing.
I get that, but I don't know. There's all these styles and whatever. See, at the end of the day, if I'm a chairman of a club, see if we come in and get results and start going up the league.
Of course it is, that's what it's about.
No, but again, I get the results, but Derek McInnes was getting the results.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
And had been getting them for years. So
they must be kicking himself, mate. He took that Kelly job because any of the Dundee St Mirren that came up, he would have got it straight away.
He looks
He's desperate to get back in, wasn't he?
But then again, if you look at Kilmarnock, they are now 3 points, 2 points. No, I think they're level points with Arbroath. Arbroath's obviously got a game in hand. He's probably got to fancy his chances of getting Kilmarnock up this year.
Right, St Mirren, who are you giving the St Mirren job to, Lewis?
MacLeod, mate.
Jimmy Bone?
Stephen Naismith.
Nazy's the favourite, eh?
Is he?
Nazy's the favourite. Gold dust for the wrestling, Naismith.
He's his twin, innit?
That's the twin, mate. He's the favourite. Would that be a good appointment?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Just don't know enough about him.
Know enough about him. What about Jack Ross? Going back to St Mirren? No?
No, I don't think
he'd
they'll
want to
have
go back
it.
there.
You don't think that?
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, if I would get him if he wanted it.
Scott Brown's been flung in there. I could see Scott Brown taking it.
I can see Scott Brown taking it, but Scott Brown will want to play, and obviously he can't go there as a manager and play because is that no out the window?
No, you can, but I don't think you would, do you?
Can you?
You can do it.
I know he can go there, but he couldn't go there and play, could he?
Go to St Mirren and play?
The now at this moment because of the transfer window, he's obviously.
If he went as a manager, I think he would be able to.
No, can he play?
He couldn't play.
Can he play for two?
No, you couldn't play.
No.
No, you can't play for two teams.
No, but what I'm saying is
the transfer window's shut. So
transfer window's shut.
So he'd only be going as a manager.
Aye, and he'd probably want to play.
Right, so you're saying no for Scott Brown?
I'm saying it'd be a good shout for Scott Brown because it'd be that step.
Be a great first job, definitely.
Absolutely, but would he go now if he couldn't play because he probably feels he could add a wee bit? But then
I don't like the player manager.
No, that's tough. It's tough. I don't know who the favourites are. Obviously Nazy, you're saying Nazy, but I don't know. Nazy's quite, I don't know. Seeing Kelly, we don't know. I can't judge Nazy because I don't know.
I know.
Never really seen
him how he coaches or stuff. There must be other guys out there that would fancy.
Lenny? What about Lenny?
A second.
It would be a great job for Lenny.
Do you think St Mirren would game it? Surely if you're looking at Neil Lennon's record near St Mirren, you're taking him there.
100%, aye. 100%. I thought he did a brilliant job with Hibs as well. Near the end.
I think the Hibs would have took him back as well. He was in running for the Hibs job as well.
But he did, listen,
Stevie Field's assistant.
Met Stevie there.
Have you met him at the pitch? He's a shite bag to see, because he gave me a bit on here. He was hiding for him at the
I
game.
slaughtered him for 3 years. I remember Lenny banned him because he used to be the first in the lunch with a big fucking mountain in a plate. And he started doing Lenny banned him, but he came down the other day at the Livingston game. I went to the Livingston game.
What, Livy?
St Mirren.
Did you?
Mate, Martindale's a hero. Just, mate, see the film first off, could just keep watching.
Where was
just
that,
tells him
Livy?
to fuck off. Everybody in his side.
Was that Livy or something?
At Livy.
How did you got there?
Scott McLaughlin, his player Jay Henderson came on for St Mirren. Good player, by the way.
Right, you gave him a wee plug.
A wee plug, listen, a good wee player, but the best player on the pitch was Nicky Devlin.
Right, was he?
Unbelievable. Jordan Jones.
Seen him getting up and putting crosses in.
Crosses in, big boy Newbley outright. Brilliant.
Newbley's good, was good, wasn't he?
The best centre half in the league's the boy for Livingston, Obalaya.
He's the best centre half in the league.
100%. I'm telling you now, the boy Newbley, he's a striker, isn't he? Martindale played him out left, right wing, but the boy take ragdolled.
Richard Tate.
Oh, I like
I've seen these fringes all over the place, on it.
Twitter and that, it was shaking. But the big boy Newbley was outstanding. But on Steve, big Stevie Friel came down and I've offered him a pie. I went and got my pie, but he started saying, so you can go on the podcast and fucking tell the boys I'll back eating pies again. So he said, but he says he's going to come on, Si.
Oh, brilliant, get him on.
Not interested.
No, he's not getting on, absolutely
He
not.
can come on and watch it, but he's not getting on it.
Needs to be naked, though.
No, he said he wanted to come naked.
Right.
That was the only way he wanted to come, if he sat naked with a pie in his cup. But no way, he's doing he had a wee notepad. Fuck knows, he didn't write one hanging about sat in a notepad.
Throwing dicks on it.
Dick pics for him.
Right, we're on to Lewis McLeod's career.
There we go.
You ready for this, mate? No, no short, but sweet. When did you first start training with the first team? Came through as a kid at Rangers. When's the first day somebody comes in and goes, you're training with the first team with me?
I'd have been about 17, I think it was. Walter Smith was still the manager. Trained a couple of times. I think it was the season before, the whole administration and everything.
So what, you just in the youth team one day, who comes in and tells you, youth team manager?
I can't remember. It used to would be like one of the coaches, I can't remember, like Billy Kirkwood or Jim Sinclair or whatever. They'd just come in and say, like, you're on train with the first team today. And then I had a wee board as well, so your name would sometimes be up there. So that would be it. Shaking yourself.
Would you be shaking yourself?
Shaking yourself.
Would you, because we've said it on here before, sometimes you were hoping just with the reserves today for a BT day. Would you be like that?
I think in Murray Park they used to have like there's a wee cut-off point where like the first team and the youth team would, and you'd never get past that, like ever. So like, you need to walk down your cell, fucking find your way out to the pitch to train.
It's a long walk, isn't it?
Yeah, horrible.
What are you thinking, just please don't fuck up?
Yeah. But towards the end of that season I was supposed to make my debut. I think it was the last couple of games we were playing Motherwell and then St Johnstone, I think was the last one. Billy Kirkwood or somebody had come round and says, you're training with the first team today and with Motherwell on the Saturday. So I've walked round and I'm walking at the train just myself. And McCoist, I think McCoist was the manager at the time, I can't mind. He shouted us there and he's like, how you doing? I'm like, not bad. He's like, fancy a game tomorrow? I'm like, aye. He's like, good, I'm going to play you. Motherwell. So I've trained for like a couple of weeks, like nothing. So I'm going to play tomorrow. So right. So shiting myself a full training session. Obviously leave, squad lists up. At the bottom it says, must wear suits. So like Friday night I've not got a suit in my wardrobe. Went home. Martin Bell, was Martin Bell down here there? So Jimmy's boy was a kit man for the youth team. So Martin's from my bit, so he used to drive us into training. So I says to him on the way home, I was like, Martin, have you got a suit I can wear? Bearing in mind, Martin's fucking 5'6", absolutely solid. He had the Rangers suit, because obviously Jimmy sorted him out. He's like, you can wear my suit. So I've went to Martin's house, picked up the suit, get home, shite myself to try this on, because he's 5'6", stocky, and I'm obviously skinny and about 5'10". So I've got this suit on, jacket was fucking, shoulder pads were out to here, sleeves massive, trousers were up to my fucking shins, man. Turned up Saturday, turned up for the game with a suit on, obviously belt, no belt, didn't have a belt, trousers were hanging off me. Walking into the game.
Didn't have a belt?
Didn't have a belt, mate, don't know why. Didn't have a belt, trousers hanging off me, walking into the game, get into the changing room, Sasa Papach was starting middle of the park. He never said that to me.
No way.
Swear to God, I'll shake myself the full night, man.
Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? Did you come on that day then, eh?
No, I never come on.
He's done you a belt on it.
He
just wanted to see you in that suit.
I wasn't expecting, do you know what I mean? I was like, even when he says to me, I was like, I think it might still be a wind up here. Because we'd like never done shape around on the Friday. And then the following week, I think wee Baz played, because wee Baz was running about the first team at that time as well. we Baz ended up playing against St Johnstone, I'm sure, and I ended up ill, so I missed it. And administration, and that the following season was the year that I kind of started playing.
Walter Smith, what was he like?
I never had much dealings with him. Obviously, spent very little time in the first team. You just got to train, but he would, like, Ally McCoist would normally take the training, and he would just kind of watch. So I never.
Was it McCoist and Kenny McDowell?
Aye, coach Durante, brilliant man. Two of them are brilliant. Kev would probably tell you.
Oh, the three of them.
I used to be.
Funny.
Brilliant man.
Shanty would talk to you 1 minute, right, as if you're like best pals, and then no speak to you for days. And like literally just look at you and say, what are you fucking looking at, you daft? You're like, oh, sorry.
Used to.
What are you speaking to me for? What are you speaking to me for? I'm like, oh, just forget it.
Used to go at like 17, 18, you'd go out the weekend, like steaming Saturday night, and you'd get in the Monday morning, everybody would go on the bikes for a warm-up. Durant'd just walk in, just like, look at you, just turn away, and you're like, oh no, he knows I was it. Shaking yourself.
Were you Were you already in the first team when you signed? Or was it the other way?
No, he would have been in. You'd have played Brecon that first game in the cup.
Aye, so I played Brecon. That was my first.
So I was training there 2 weeks.
That was my first game. Aye.
3 stone off my body.
Was that when you turned up with that motor?
Aye.
What was that? Do you remember seeing his motor?
I remember that. No.
Then up Lagan.
The McGann. Did you see the window even broke?
The windows didn't work.
That's a move, man. Did McCoist not give you a bit for that? Nah.
Wait, what? You had a run up McGann and
just fucking went up McGann. It was fucking just. I bowled up to training, mate, and fucking just the windows didn't work. The Fringe cars are always bad with the electric problems.
That's unreal, man.
And I just park it in. Fucking the boys had all the big fucking Mercedes CD63s and all that, and I'm fucking parking the McGann in between them. Not a problem.
That's brilliant, man. What first team players were good to you?
To be fair, like, there was only maybe like, how many proper like first team players had been like yourself, Waldo, Jig,
Neil Alexander. Jig was good. Jig was good with the young boys.
Was Kenny there? Did Kenny come later?
Kenny
Miller, aye. And Boyd, I think they came a bit later.
No, they came after.
Aye. And so like at the start there was only
there wasn't
4 or 5, aye. The rest was like kind of boys like Huts, Cal, Ross Perry,
Coley
was there, Andy Mitchell. So like it was all boys that weren't really in the first team.
Right. Was it chaos at that time?
Aye, chaos. Just didn't really know.
Aye, it was weird. Like I
a weird feel about the place.
It's just like when you're going to sign for Rangers, like it's the fucking one of the 2 biggest clubs in Scotland, but it didn't feel like that because of where they were. They'd just been liquidated or administration all the way to the 3rd division, and then McCoist is trying to get you up to play fucking like Stirling Albion away on a Saturday, and you're like, fucking hell! It's just we had all the bus, we had all the fucking equipment, we had all the fucking staff, we had everything like that should have been top level stuff. Mm-hmm. But we are rocking up to fucking Dog and Duck, and it's like no Dog and Duck, because there's no Dog and Duck. It's just a new experience, and you've got players like me and Blackie, Dean Shields, and that are maybe say fortunate at that time to get an opportunity to play with Rangers because of the circumstances. Then mix it in with young guys like Baz, Lewis, Heggs, Andy Mitchell, Pez, and then you've got experienced guys like Jig and Neil Alexander who were there through the whole situation, so it was a hard balance to get right.
Let's see, obviously you're a Rangers fan, but and then obviously it's as hard as it was seeing them going down the leagues, but did you kind of feel a bit buzzing that you were going to get a chance?
I think all the boys that were kind of in my position, we were all lucky because we probably wouldn't have got as much a chance if Rangers had stayed in the top league, do you know what I mean? So the likes of myself, Baz, all the boys that were kind of on the fringes, we were not happy, but like, you're playing for Rangers first team, you know what I mean, no matter what league it is. But
so what was your debut?
Breaking away.
I wouldn't have been there.
Ball got stuck on top of the hedge. Fucking 5 minutes in.
So you playing centre mid?
I played left. I played left all the time for Rangers. I've always been a centre mid, but
so we signed a centre mid when you get fucked out of the wing.
We signed Blackie obviously, and then Jig played in the middle as well. Nicky Law. So like, obviously they'd signed for decent money, do you know what I mean? So they were going to be playing in the middle, but I was just happy to play, but fucking no pace playing it in the left, you know what I mean? You're struggling.
Just cutting in you,
getting
in the hole. What about Ibrox first game? Brilliant.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Full family?
Aye, full family. I was fucking lucky. Ended up getting sponsored by Puma. So they had a box at every home game. There was like a Puma box, so my family were on that every second weekend. So that was good for them, man. Free tickets every week.
It was full crowd, wasn't it then as well?
Aye. That was probably the hardest thing. I think, see, the fans have still got the same expectations as years previous, do you know what I mean?
Aye, that was...
And then...
It wasn't easy playing for Rangers in that first division, because see when you were at home and you had 45, 50,000 and you weren't performing well.
Be on you.
Fucking hell, they were on you alright.
It was worse when you had about 25, 30, because you could hear every single shout.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
See, obviously you've said, Lewis, what was Kev like as a player and trainer?
Good, superb, mate.
Was he?
Was he? What? Good trainer?
Kev was good, aye. Kev was one of the guys that you'd need in like, that time, do you know what I mean? Let's see.
I feel quite emotional.
No,
cheers, Lewis.
like, just
Get him a break and roll, man.
I'll
just
screw you up later.
experience, do you know what I mean? Just experienced player and about the squad, and with a lot of young boys as well, so it was good. There was a few good characters as well on the team at the time, so.
How was his touch?
Baggy. It was good.
Baggy.
No, it was good.
That's unreal, man.
Baggy.
See, when Cal came into the first team, would he be on the older boys as well, Kev?
The problem we had was Carl was that Jig played up front to start with.
Aye.
And then Jig got moved to centre half because McCoist then started giving me an opportunity up front. And Carl was obviously vying for a place up front. So I'm pretty sure at some point along the lines he'd be fucking cursing and swearing behind my back. So how the fuck's he? Because I remember one game, I think it was Stenhousemuir away. I think it was my first goal I think I scored. And he was warming up and McCoy said to him, come and get ready. So I saw the number 9 coming up, I was going off and I scored. And he fucking sat back down. It's like, he came on anyway. And then I think he set me up. In another game, he set me up and he says, I'll keep you in this first team. Like, tell me, like, I'll set you up with loads of chances. I'll keep you in this first team.
Brilliant,
and then, but he was, he was technically, he was very good. Cal, he just a fucking, just.
Would you give McCoist a bit, Cal?
Aye.
Would he?
Aye. Fucking, he was thinking, just because, like, he just would say stupid things. And you're like, fucking, you're talking about Ally McCoist here, Cal. Guy's got a fucking golden boot.
That's unreal,
you know what I mean?
Well, I hear it.
See, he used to say, see, the problem with him is he can't see a player. He would say to us, so see when the team would go up with that and he'd go away in the hospital, I can't believe I'm on the bench again. Like, he genuinely doesn't see a player. He just fucking, like, he would talk to us like that and you're like, he's fucking at it. But even that, like, he was fucking,
When we were at Wigan, I think it was a January transfer window. Everybody's in having a breakfast. The gaffer sitting there, Cal's walked in, he's like, Gaffer, how many Prem teams have phoned you about me today? The gaffer's just sitting there, like, everybody's burst out laughing, do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's amazing. He is a hero, isn't he?
What position was he in? Striker?
He's played everywhere, hasn't he?
I would say he'd have been naturally a left-sided left winger.
Aye. I think he's more, you can see him now, he's more suited playing a wee bit deeper because he is athletic and I think he's been playing midfield for Luton, hasn't he?
That goal he scored at the rate.
He was tricky.
The hair's looking great as well just now, isn't it?
Is it? Aye.
So I wonder if Peter boys have finished their message. You see him saying that, but that can be one of my favourite times on the show.
I know, in the SWD.
The ones I'd take finish with. What was McCoist like? Was McCoist funny?
Aye, good, brilliant, mate. Just hilarious, man. See the three of them, like Coach, Durante and the gaffer, but when they needed to be serious,
they three would act as if it was like they were 15, 16, like they were three absolute
I used to go on the music in the changing room, and he'd always ask for Gangnam Style. Remember that Gangnam Style? So he'd put a tunes on, him and Coach are getting into Gangnam Style in the sink, like fucking an hour and a half before the game, you know what I mean?
Could you tell though McCoy was the manager? Out the freedom?
Aye.
Definitely.
How could he crack?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh fuck! I remember that. Like I always said it 100 times. The Peterhead story, and he cracked. Gianti cracked that day. Remember we were 2-0 down, 2-1 down.
He cracked with me a couple of times.
He cracked with everybody at some point.
Let's hear yours too, because we've obviously heard that one. But how did he crack with you?
I think we were playing. Once was Falkirk away, and then other team can't remember where it was. But both of them were Astro, and I was terrible first half. Just come in and he's like, you think you're a fucking player, you'll never be the next big thing at Rangers, you're fucking hopeless. And obviously, like, Durante was brilliant with me, and just shat myself, you know what I mean? Like, I need to kind of turn that around a wee bit here. Obviously went out, I think the second half, I ended up scoring the second half, but then after the game, he'd come in and it's like, that's the reaction I wanted. But I knew it was never anything personal, it was just to kind of...
Get the best out of him.
I don't know McCoist was like
It was good.
See, in the beginning, I remember when we sat, I think it was before the first home game, and we sat at Money Park, the Ibrox Stadium in the room, had our pre-match, and he sat down and said, right, this is the team today, and he says, this is the plan for the season. We win this league with absolute maximum points, and I want at least 100 goals on the board. He says, we're playing against all these teams, they're all on good money, they're all good players, I want over 100 goals. He says, if we don't get that, I says, I'll deem that as a failure. And you're sitting there thinking, like 100 goals, you're playing
good.
30,
I like
30 goals, and like he laid out his stall.
Yeah.
And then to be fair, like people used to say, the training was good because there was always banter and there was always a bit of joking and carry on. But when it came to like a Thursday and Friday, we were well drilled in terms of like, I felt sometimes we did the same set plays over and over and over again. I thought, surely fuck. I
know, but how many set plays can you actually come
I know, I just saw, and then the shooting drills were the best because he would join in.
Brilliant.
Was he frightening?
Was he still frightening?
Still unbelievable.
It did old V Young on Friday too.
And they'd join in?
He'd play up front,
Would he?
Scoring all the time.
He's meant to be a strong bastard as well, isn't he?
Janty would join in the boxes and he's got a fucking knee. One's pointing north and one's pointing fucking south, one part of his leg, and honestly, he still could keep the ball
in the boxes. Was he brilliant?
They were good in the boxes, weren't they?
Yeah, brilliant.
And then Coach would do that one, like the sprint one.
He loves that one, mate. We done that in the reserve. He said that. He was last. He loves that.
Go to the radio.
We're going to that.
Go to the
But it was, I would say at that time in Rangers' history, they were probably the perfect three to start that journey back to obviously getting to beat Borussia Dortmund on night 4-2 because they got it, they understood it, and helped a lot of the young guys. They were good, whatever people said about their style of football and stuff.
His Craig White story he told when I interviewed him, I think it's my favourite story, only the way he tells it.
I don't hear that.
So he places in turmoil, make people are losing their jobs. He's like, I need to phone this guy, man. So he phones him, he goes, Craig, what the fuck's happening here? Craig White goes to him, listen, Alistair, I think another couple of weeks with the tin hats on and we'll get through this. He's like, what the fuck does that mean? A couple of weeks with the tin hats on. So when did you first hear murmurings, especially you, that Rangers were going to consider selling you for money?
It wasn't very late on because the injury that kept us out for 18 months, I tore my hamstring tendon. It was were you still there at that point?
No, you do. I only on reserve for a wee while, sort of 6 months.
When McGann had left the building and that.
McGann had fucking packed in. I couldn't get to work, so I had to get in the contract back.
That's genius, by the way.
We were playing Ally away. It was a cup game, and I think we were winning 2-1 or 1-0, and I came half injured, and then we ended up getting beat 3-2. I thought, what a terrible night that was, man. Get back, staying. It was about an 8 o'clock kick-off, so we get back at the training ground about 12 o'clock. There's fans waiting outside the state, like the training ground gates and everything. But
who was getting it? Who were they giving it to?
Everybody, man. Everybody. Rightly so. I think it wasn't good enough. But that was I think that was in about the November or something. So I had torn my hamstring, and then my aim was to get back for the first Old Firm game. So the first Old Firm game, I'm sure, was at the end of January. It was it was a cup game, wasn't it? A cup game. So like that was my aim to get back, and then. At that point was when Ally McCoist was on gardening leave.
Right.
So like he had been sacked or whatever, and then Coach had took her. So there wasn't much talk beforehand. Like my agent said that they might be interested, and then one day he just gave us a phone call and he said, "Look, Rangers have accepted an offer for you down to Brentford." So I was like, right. He's like, I think that's you. So then went to speak to Coach and just basically says like, if they've accepted an offer. And not that he was surprised, but he was just a wee bit, all right.
So he never knew, you had to tell him?
I think he did know, but I didn't know if it was as close to like what it was. And then that was that, just packed up my stuff and then went to Brentford. So it was really quick, literally.
Did you want to stay?
I'd like to stay, but there wasn't really any talk of staying, do you know what I mean?
Well, maybe Rangers saying, no, Daddy stayed there.
Stay, do you know what I mean? And at that point as well, there was loads of talk of like Rangers struggling for money and everything else as well. So you don't really know. I was only 19 at the time, do you know what I mean? Turning 20, so I'm still a young boy, didn't really know what was going on.
It is young to be going down to leaving and going down to London.
Especially play a good few games for Rangers first, and then all of a sudden banged into Brentford. What would they been in Championship?
They were just in this, so it was the first, they'd just been in the Championship for 6 months. So even that, like Rangers were in the Championship in Scotland, and a Championship team's paying £1 million for a Championship player in Scotland, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really happen much. £1 million at 19 is brilliant, isn't it?
10%, aye, sorted.
I wish, mate.
No, that was a good deal. Brentford are good players, aren't they?
They weren't really back then. I felt a lot of pressure going down there because they'd be in the lower leagues a lot of the time, so that was their first year in the Championship, and they'd never spent that amount of money on players, do you know what I mean? So they'd spent that on me, and obviously I was going down actually injured, so it was tough trying to get back fit, and then it was just a nightmare for 18 months. And then
so your first day, Dougie, who I played with at Sunday,
so
big Celtic fan.
First day was I'd actually went into training ground, but it was a Friday, so it was a Friday night game. I never met any of the players, so the physio said just come to the game Friday night and introduce you, but turned up about 15 minutes before kick-off. Walked in, obviously nobody knows who I am. Walked into the physio room because I'd spoke to him in the morning. Dougie's lying in the bed, so he's just lying there, got his head done. The physios went to him, this is Lewis, he just signed. He's turned round, he's like, you're a boy for Rangers? It's like, aye, how you doing, mate? He's like, never said a word to me, just ignored me. Put his head back in the hole. That was fucking...
But that was him that I told you that ripped, remember the chairman gave us all personal letters when we were trying to stay up that year in the division? The chairman gave him his letter, he just looked at me like that.
That's what he was like though.
Ruthless, mate, isn't he?
Ruthless, but he was a good guy to have about the change room, and it was a good squad at that time.
Did you ever get to play centre mid with him?
I never, so that's what I'm saying. So I signed injured, and then that was another thing. So about a month after I'd signed for Brentford, I was just doing straight line running, right? And the physios took us to this bit of the training ground that was dodgy, but basically had a hole in it, right? So I'm running, legs went down the hole, hamstrings went again. So then a week later, they've put in the paper, Lewis MacLeod injured, tripped over a twig. So that's fucking...
That's killing you.
I don't know who leaked that story, but...
Tripped over a twig.
Tripped over a twig, know what I mean? So that was that, and then 18 months. I never played football for 18 months.
Fucking hell, man. And were you doing it yourself, or did you have family?
Aye, so moved in myself, and then my missus at the time moved in as well, but 18 months, just I think the first 5-6 months I was doing it myself.
So that was a hamstring for 18 months?
18 months, mate.
So what was wrong, mate?
I split the hamstring tendon in two.
Mate, you've had no luck at all, eh?
Well, gets worse, so I get back for that. Play, I think 10 games or something. First 5 games I'm absolutely flying. Had like 6 assists or something in 5 games, so I'm buzzing. No played football in 18 months. Dean Smith, I think I'd started the first 5 or 6 games. Dean Smith pulls us into the office. He's like, got to rest you a wee bit. Like, you've not played a lot of football. Keep your legs fresh. I think to myself, I've got the freshest legs in world football here. I've been here for 18 months. I want to play. So he's rested us, and then the next couple of games I come on as a sub, and we're playing Queen's Park, Rangers away, and I've come on last 20 minutes, and about 10 minutes to go, tore my ACL. So after being out for 18 months, played 10 games, tore my ACL, and that was me for another year. So 3-4 years of football, just played about 10 games, man.
Was that a hard time in your life,
Oh, horrible, mate, horrible. You probably know yourself, Sonny, like when you get long-term injuries, you know what I mean? It is tough, but especially being away from home and stuff like that as well.
I don't know how people, especially a young person, you're not built to deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Any walk of life, you don't. Somebody, if you've got a love for a job you do, it doesn't take away from you. Do you know what I mean? It's only fit where that happens. I don't know how.
I think the worst thing.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
The worst thing about being injured for that length of time is, see if your team's being successful, you missing it in everything.
That's the worst.
When I got injured at Sunderland 2004, 5, it was 18 months. I saw the team get promoted to the Premiership. And then play full Premiership, and then I come back for like the last 6 games and we got fucking relegated. were relegated before I got back. But the point was, is that, and you're like, and then even like again, I'll go to Hearts. I get injured for 18 months at Hearts and missed it at Hearts, beating Hibs in the cup final 5-1.
See that first 6 months, just to remember about talking about money and bonuses and that. First 6 months at Brentford, that was obviously their first year in the Championship, so they had like this crazy bonus thing for like finishing in certain positions in the league. So they ended up, we got into the playoffs that season and they ended up finishing 6th, but for 6th it was something ridiculous, like I want to say something like 10 million between the squad, just for finishing 6th. So at the end of the season, obviously, everybody's opening up their fucking bonuses and that. I'm just sitting there like that, fucking raging. Boys are walking away with thousands, like hundreds of thousands of pounds.
That pro rata bonuses.
Oh, that down there's brilliant, isn't it?
They scrapped after that season, they scrapped it.
That's fucking unbelievable. Was Dean Smith good?
Aye, so he came in.
Total football, wasn't he?
Aye, he came in, but he was brilliant, man. Really good coach. With Richard Kelly as well with him, but just Brent. I think it was just Brentford in general. It wasn't really a manager. It was maybe a first team coach. They do a lot of like the amount of meetings you have about teams and stuff is like constant during the week. I think we had fucking set piece coaches, throw-in coaches, fucking sleep coaches, everything you can possibly imagine.
But in London, how good is that?
Is that where Brentford is?
Right in London, mate. It's like in the East End, isn't it?
West
End,
London.
sorry.
Is that no probably the worst place you could possibly be when you're injured?
Not for me, I'd be out all the time.
That's what it was, isn't it?
Right, China Whites in it?
China Whites,
Oh, come here, you Doll's House.
Chelsea.
Do you ever go to Doll's House?
Nah.
You went, what a place.
Doll's House?
The club in London we used to go. Loved it, man.
Liberty,
London.
It's the best place.
Brick Lane on a Sunday,
Hated it.
Nah.
Never?
I never really Sunday, I was always in the Mondays.
Right.
And stuff like that.
Who would you go out with, just the boys?
Well, at the start, it was kind of like Dougie, few Irish boys, Ally McCoist.
Mark, I played with Mark at Sunday,
Harley Dean,
Sibia.
Sam Saunders, and then...
Sam Saunders has got a bit, mate.
Aye.
He's got a bit.
Smart, isn't he? And then later on, like, a few of my good pals, Eags, Josh McEachran, and then Ollie Watkins.
That was McEachran that was at Chelsea, and Watkins was at Bellingham.
So,
good players, eh?
3 years. Aye. The last season with Dean Smith, our front three was Ollie Watkins, Neil Maupay, and Said Ben Rama.
Oh,
fucking
up front.
What's Maupay like? He looks like a money wee bastard.
He's the nicest guy I've ever
Is he?
on the pitch, mate. He's so quiet, doesn't drink. Used to go home and just play Fortnite. I remember running to his house one night, there's a rabbit running about the house. Just never told you about it, just walked in, there's a rabbit jumping about. Watching basketball or something. But nicest boy, like just really nice boy, but as soon as he's on the pitch, just don't know something.
He's an animal, mate, isn't he?
Aye.
Did you work under Thomas Frank?
Aye, he was there with Dean Smith for, I think, a year.
Oh, was he? What, as a coach, like?
Aye, he was just a coach. And then obviously Dean Smith left, and then they gave Thomas Frank the job just as like interim, I think, and then he'd done well and got the job, but he was another really good coach.
I like him, Thomas.
He was mental though, didn't he?
Aye, but
See when you were
nice
there,
guy.
see when you signed with Brentford doing all that stuff with the stats and all that?
Aye, so that was the whole, I think I might be wrong, but I'm sure I was the last player to be signed out with the kind of stats model. Because Mark Warburton and Davy Weir, it was that signed me, and then after that,
Was that who was there when you were?
they kind of switched to this like signing players with stats, but like, the amount of players that we brought in that then sold for like
Millions.
10+ million. Like, first year, Scott Hogan,
Striker, wasn't he?
striker,
Oh, that's
went
right,
to
yeah.
Villa for like 10 million. The year later, you had the boy Jota, the winger.
The Spanish boy, he was good,
Spanish
wasn't
boy,
he?
him, and then like, the boys I said, like Ollie Watkins, Neil Maupay, Said Ben Rama,
And Rama was a joke, wasn't he?
Ezra Konsa, aye, like, ridiculous, man.
He's at West Ham
Ridiculous.
now, isn't he?
Stay away from him in training, man.
How would he do every time?
Aye, just not like, roll the ball on his foot, nutmeg, you know that. It's not what you need when you're coming back from injuries, man.
Was the standard a joke, didn't it?
Aye, ridiculous, mate, ridiculous. The few seasons, like our team was, we should have done better probably than what we actually did. Like that front three, then Romain Sawyers was in the middle, was unbelievable.
He was linked to Celtic a couple of times, he went to West Brom, didn't he?
He actually spoke to me before about coming up. It was either Celtic or West Brom.
Right.
and ended up going to West Brom.
You
But-
put him off Celtic, didn't you?
No, I said to him, I was like, it's a massive club, like, I think it's a lot bigger than what you think. Like, people get respect for down here, obviously, but decided, I think it's close to home as well. He's Birmingham boy, so
Right.
ended up going there.
Did you then, for there, did you go to Wigan for there?
Wigan, mate, aye. I went to
Was that Cookie?
Cookie, aye. I had, Brentford actually offered me a year's extension on my contract. Brentford were great with me, obviously. When I tore my ACL, Matthew Benham gave me an extra year on my contract because my contract was running out.
Oh, what a guy.
Which was
Brilliant, innit?
I love shut
brilliant, mate. So I signed that, but when I get back for my ACL, I wasn't really playing. I was in at the team, and then they offered me an extension, but I just wanted to play football. So my agent had spoke to Wigan, and Cookie wanted me to come up, and he was giving me all the spiel saying you've got to play everything.
Tell that story. It's brilliant, man.
So I obviously signed for Wigan. I think it was 2 weeks before the season started, so I'd hardly trained any time. And first game was against Cardiff, and Sammy Morsey, who was the captain, got injured. So Cookie's pulled us in. He's like, I need you to play in Saturday. So, no worries. So played the game, done really well. We ended up winning 3-2. Buzzing, obviously. And then after that, we had a Tuesday game. It was at Preston, and we get beat 3-1 or something, I think. But I remember he highlighted us after the game, like, you were the only one that kind of get pass marks. So I'm like buzzing. Sammy Morsey gets back fit the next game, so Cookie pulls us in. He's like, you've no trained a lot. I'm going to give you a wee rest. Sammy's obviously back. Get you in. So I'm like, right, sound, no worries, Gaffer. Obviously, I'm thinking, fair dues, like, I've done well, but I should be back in. Next week goes by, we get beat, I think, or we draw, no playing. Week later, no playing. I'm starting like that. So I chap his door first time. He's like, the only person that didn't want to chat my door was you. It's like, you're the only person that's got a right to chat my door because you should be playing. I'm like to myself, fucking playing with me. You know what I mean? So I just left it. He says, look, as soon as we get a bad result, you're in. Week later, bad result. Chapped his door again. Fucking last time, Gaffer, come on, man. Like, you says to me for 4 weeks in a row that as soon as we get a bad result, I'm going to get in. He's like, do you know what? Fuck off. That was it, literally. It's like, fuck off. I'm like, so I walked out, and then Liam, who was his assistant, came out running after. He's like, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have said that.
Fuck off.
I was like, finished. That was 3 weeks into the season.
And
so
that was you done?
can
And I
imagine
played again?
the rest. I did, well, there was obviously injuries and I played, but I was just like,
Strange, innit?
strange time, but end of the day, you know what I mean? I left there and then went to Plymouth, but
Good dressing room for that.
I
That.
can't wait for this.
Big Charlie.
brilliant.
How is he?
dressing, mate. Just Charlie, you've seen him on the podcast, didn't you? Just
Was Josh, he was there as well, Josh Windass,
Windass,
wasn't he? Two of them.
constantly, mate. Him, Charlie, Gary Roberts, who you'll know, and
Great guy.
Nazy, obviously, just constant. Joe Garner as well, but Charlie walked into the shower one day and him and Robbo were in there. And obviously they're acting as if they don't know I'm coming in, so Robbo's bent arm, Charlie's like that, trying to wash his arse. Oh, fucking acting as if, you know what I mean? He knows perfectly well I'm walking in the shower, but he's kidding on. Just wee stuff like that, just constant carry on, man. He used to always send, let us listen, because he knew I loved the show. He's like, Slenny's always sending me voice notes.
I used to always send them.
Did you always send them?
Always send Charlie them, aye. But now I've stopped.
Talking about coaching and that.
Remember when Windass sent us a video of me washing his knob? Charlie.
That's what he was doing when I walked in the shower. He was like that to Robbo.
Was he Charlie, was he the biggest character you've played with?
The biggest character? In terms of like joking and stuff like that, Charlie's Charlie, isn't he?
I wonder if there's any other ones out there that we've not heard of. Because we've got Cal was a late one, wasn't it?
Cal was a late one. It came late.
Don't know how that was when Andy came and we got him.
Funny.
What about
Cal's one of the funniest boys I've came across.
who Cal?
Aye.
Anything you can remember now?
Just all that
Just all that
yeah,
sort of
everybody's
stuff.
heard it before, just
How many
saying
Prem
he's
teams
the
is
best
brilliant,
player. Aye, how many Prem teams phoned for me, Gaffer?
Would they give Windass would get it off Charlie,
All the
wouldn't he?
time, man. All the time. He used to love his dogs, didn't he? So Charlie just used to slaughter him, man. Slaughter him about the dogs.
What's he got, 3 dogs or something? He goes rollerblading with him and that.
Aye.
Mate, he was in Kilbrooks directly before the fight.
I know, seen that on his Instagram, going for lunch with him and that.
I'm out for lunch with Kilbrooks.
It's tight with him, isn't he?
Some boy,
He's
isn't
still
he?
messaging you.
I message him all, mate.
Random Scottish players.
He loves the Scottish game, doesn't he?
Loves football, doesn't
What do you
he?
think of that left winger at Hamilton? I'm like, mate, who are you talking about, man? He pure loves it.
Loves football.
He loves football, doesn't he? He's fit as fuck, isn't he?
Aye, so fit, man.
Good player.
Really good player, mate. Aye. I was surprised. Obviously, I'm a Rangers fan, so I watched him. I watched him a few times for Rangers, but when I went to Wigan, like training and stuff, his finishing was brilliant, man.
Is he a good finisher, isn't he?
Yeah, really good finisher. But obviously had a bad injury, didn't he? And he's just getting back. So
Did you ever get a chance to go back to Rangers? When you went to Wigan, Plymouth, did Rangers ever come up? No?
nah. I think at the time there was a lot of kind of talk about it when right at the start, because obviously Matt Wobblin signed me for Brentford, and then 6 months later was you know what I mean? Was the manager of Rangers. So there was a wee bit in the paper at that time, but I don't think it would have ever happened. Like, it was just too soon, you know what I mean?
Would you still come up to Rangers games when you were doing so?
It was hard to, obviously it's hard to get up
you're
for
in
games. Any Sunday games, if I was up the road, I would try and go to them. Old Firm games or whatever, I'd try and make it up, but no many at all.
Is Gary Roberts still doing that to fullbacks? Never heard of his son.
Used to do that all the
Every
time,
week, mate. I used
do
to
that
wait
all
for
the
it
time.
every week.
I try to think he used to always do something. Like, he used to kid on me, say, I'm do that in the morning in training, just whenever something good would happen, like that. Just swing his arm a bit.
Have you ever seen Robbo? He's a winger, mate, so a fullback smashed him, fell down, he's like grappling, boy stands up and Robbo pulls his trousers, he shorts him in the pit. You seen that?
I think I've seen that one.
What a guy, man. Every week with foot fail, mate, he did that to the fullback, eh?
Who was your...
What's your name, son? Never heard of it.
I've never actually asked you, who was your biggest character down there?
What, Swindon and that?
Aye.
Robbo was funny, mate. Luke Rooney was funny. That day, Luke Rooney gave the Canio do you know the John Sitton speech? Do you know the call when he's bring your dinner because you fucking need it when I'm done with it. So we were out one Sunday and he knew it word for word, and he's like, the gaffer's going to come for me because I was shite Saturday. I know I've had enough. I'm done here anyway. I'm going to say stuff back to him in John Sitton's voice and what John Sitton said. Mate, he's saying stuff back to the Canny, like, do you understand what I'm saying or not? And the Canny was so confused, mate. Like, it didn't even make sense of what the Canny was talking about, but he just didn't give a fuck. He called him a fat little loser, didn't he? You're a fat little loser, Rooney.
That's the greatest team talk ever.
Oh, the John Sitton one, unreal, innit?
Fucking brilliant. Have
you seen it? Bring your dinner because you'll fucking need it when I'm done with it.
You bring your fucking dinner. Oh, he's
And then Plymouth, wasn't it, mate?
Plymouth, mate, last
What a
year.
place Plymouth is for a night out, by the way.
Where's that? In
That's
England?
COVID, obviously, wasn't it?
Southwest.
COVID when I went down, so I never actually got one.
Who was your manager there?
Ryan Lowe, mate, really good.
You like him, didn't you?
Aye, good player.
Did you work with...
Ryan Hardy.
Play against him.
Ryan Hardy's yeah, mate, still in Raboy, aye. Ryan done the season before, Ryan was flying, and then last season he scored a few goals, but I think he's picked up this season.
He scored a few this year as well. I think he scored a hat-trick a few weeks ago.
But it's a few good players, like League One. I'm surprised the amount of good players that were in the league. Like, obviously been in the Championship for I think it was 6 seasons. And people say you're taking a step down, but there's a lot of good players in the leagues, man. Very good players. The boy Danny Mayer. I don't know if you played against him before. He was at Sheffield Wednesday, I think, when he was younger. Brilliant player.
Was he
Still at Plymouth now.
Yeah.
Aye, really good.
I like Plymouth Stadium and I like playing there.
Great club.
What's that one called?
Sturrock was it there for ages, wasn't he?
That was when he got the interview with the cowboy hat and the hot tub.
David Adams.
That's when Jim Goodwin signed for Aberdeen, wasn't it? And Craig Brown's hot tub.
A few Scottish players have been doing that.
Put that on. Be Jim Brown, didn't it? Jim Brown? Craig Brown?
Craig
Fucking
Brown.
hell.
You got a Scotland Cup?
I did, mate. So the year that I left Rangers, so about 6 months before, out of the blue, to be honest, just.
How does it happen? Is it your agent again, or is it Striking phone you up?
No, I think somebody at the club had mentioned to me that they were thinking about calling us up, and then you get a phone call just the morning before like, the squad's announced, just basically saying if you've made it or if you've not. Phoned us up, said that I'd made it. And then it was strange though, because I think he called us up just kind of to try and see me about like the squad and like see what I was like in training and stuff like that. Because during the actual when the squad was away, it was Ireland we were playing and then England.
Right.
So it was, I think Ireland was the group game and then England was a friendly. But McCoist had asked if I could play on the Saturday for him.
Right.
And Gordon Strachan had came to me and says, like, do you want to play? And I was like, how do you answer that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it?
I want to play, but at the same time, I don't want you to think I'm no
Want to be here.
want to be like with the squad and stuff like that. So I ended up playing in the game. We drew or something, man. So I was like, fucking need to get back to Ireland. Every got to slaughter us about that result, but it was good, like, good experience. Obviously, I was only about 19, so
How was that?
good, mate. I'd watched like kind of his YouTube videos and stuff, his interview and stuff like that, so I knew he was a bit of a character, but he's great, like one-on-one. He was good with me. Obviously, first time I was in the squad, but the boys in the squad as well were brilliant.
Who was the best player?
Best player? No, try to think, man. There's a lot of good players in that squad. Scott Brown was there. Training wise, I thought he was really good, just on the intensity and stuff that he trains at.
That was Snoddy and Charlie that were there, that team, wasn't it?
I don't know if Snodgrass was in that squad, but Maloney was there as well. Maloney was brilliant.
Good,
training that, really good. Like, great group of players. But
Mate, that's unreal.
Who did you room with?
Scott 19.
who did I room with that one?
Carver.
Callum Patterson.
Carver, John Carver.
Callum Patterson.
Callum Patterson,
Oh
I
my
think.
God.
How was that?
Nah, I don't know.
Callum Patterson,
I don't
know. A good couple of games. England game. It was at Celtic. The both of them were at Celtic Park as well. I think we beat Ireland. I can't remember.
Was all the family buzzing, mate, when
Beat Ireland did, and then they lost
Beat Ireland and
2-1.
lost to England, innit? Rooney scored and went
That's
after
right.
us at the side and
How
slid.
was it that?
Andy Robertson scored for Scotland, did he? No.
Maloney it was.
Maloney,
Maloney,
corner.
Aye, so they'd worked on the corner all week and literally scored the exact same corner in the game, but a good experience and just a shame I got injured. That was my hamstring injury was straight after that, so it was kind of my chance.
Age
do you
of
know what I mean?
19.
Yeah, the injuries, mate.
That's what I was going to say. Age of 19, called up for Scotland. Done well for Rangers. Big move to Brentford. And here we're 27, you probably not even played anywhere near the amount of games.
No, still plenty of time for me.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. What's the future hold for Lewis MacLeod? Is it fucking just get fit and try and hear
Aye,
a good run at it?
Aye, I said before, I'm doing my rehab with Steve, who's a Rangers physio, so he's looking after me. But the specialist has gave us another couple of months to try and get back fit, so try my best for the next 3-4 months and see what happens. But
Oh, well,
hopefully
fingers
we can
crossed,
get it.
mate.
We'll
Fingers
get you in
crossed.
somewhere, mate. We'll get
He'll be flying again soon, mate.
Lewis MacLeod, what a guy.
Well done, Lewis.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you.